and gents, we're going to bring you our next bout of this afternoon's show. First of all, into the blue corner, please give a big warm welcome for Sean Hutton.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark.
Early contender for walkout tune of the night so far here for the Scottish hit squad, Sean Hutton.
There's a golden sky in the sea.
Very busy weekend for the Scottish hit squad team. I know Brian had a few guys on Budo last night, down here tonight. But the gym just seems to constantly, every weekend almost, have great guys and great fights. And you know with the Scottish hit squad fighter, it's going to be a top class fight.
Yeah, definitely. Very good jiu-jitsu, very good Thai boxing. Like, very good at like guillotines and triangles and stuff like that. Generally, not obviously there'll be some exceptions to that rule, but generally like a really good gym for offensive jiu-jitsu.
All right, ladies and gents, could you please welcome his opponent into the blue corner, representing Gracie Bar and Middlesbrough. Please welcome Adam Green.
And obviously I was just talking about the MMA scene in Teesside, Gracie Bar and Middlesbrough. We've got multiple gyms producing fighters now, which is always good to see. It's like obviously I run a gym in Middlesbrough.
Go on, give it a shout out. Go on. Middlesbrough Fight Academy, of course.
Middlesbrough Fight Academy, yeah. But I don't view these as competition. It's important they exist. It's important we have other gyms. It's important for Middlesbrough's martial arts scene on the whole.
How nice is it now to see so many gyms working together? I know you yourself, you travelled out next gen to train with like the likes of the UFC's Paddy Simlet. How important is it to travel to these different gyms and get different experiences?
Well, it's just a fight is an unfamiliar situation, and obviously I'm not one of these that believe your comfort zone is your enemy of progress. I would very much disagree with that. I think the gym and your team where you normally train is where almost all of your progress will be, and that is your comfort zone. But you need these sprinklings of that unpredictability where you're at somewhere
All right,
else.
ladies and gents, introducing your fighters. First of all, in the blue corner, standing at 6'2" tall, making his MMA debut from Fort William in Scotland, representing Scottish Hit Squad. He weighed in at 83.9 kilograms. Please put your hands together for Sean Hutton. Facing him across the cage in the red corner, it's his opponent. He's 35 years old, stands at 6'2" tall, making his MMA debut out of Middlesbrough, Gracie Barra. He weighed in at 82.2 kilograms. Please welcome Adam Green. We're scheduled for three 3-minute rounds. Your referee, KSW's Phil DeFries. The action is about to begin.
Well, KSW World Heavyweight Champion Phil DeFries in the middle for this one. These two debutantes to get underway. Lovely pop from the crowd from both men as well. And that's one thing you've got to say about the Scottish Hit Squad. No matter where they are in the country, they always seem to have loads of fans travel with them. I know Chris Bungard, we were both there in Manchester a couple of weeks ago. Chris always brings a good crowd, and it looks the same here for Sean Hutton.
Big leg kick from Green. Green is coming in strong. Oh, and he snaps him down and he's going for some offensive jiu-jitsu sequences. It looks like he's trying to fight through for a dart, but Hutton is doing a good job of getting two hands on one.
The clue, of course, is in the name, the Gracie Barra part of the gym, but the ground game's going to be incredible.
Yeah, these are both very strong jiu-jitsu gyms. I expect to see some good jiu-jitsu in this fight. Sutton doing a good job of 2-on-1-ing.
Hutton getting back in his feet, but covering up. Nice little pop up there of the left hook.
Green has come out very aggressive, throwing all kinds of kicks and big hooks. It's interesting to see if he can sustain this over 9 minutes, if it does go that far.
I know we mentioned it before, but it is one of those things that two big strikes again here.
Kind of smothered his work a little bit and fell into a clinch, but if he's got some good offensive wrestling here, that's not the worst thing in the world. His hips are a little bit far away to complete a takedown here. He needs to get his hips in and lower. Of
course, the offensive wrestling takes out you, but defending the takedown for so long really puts burns on your arms, your legs.
Well, it was the old GSP versus BJ Penn strategy. GSP was deliberately just shooting on him and forcing BJ Penn almost to pump his shoulders full of blood to slow his boxing down. Good head positioning here by Green. He just needs to get his hips in a little bit lower. They're just a little bit far out right now. Big knee. Beautiful knee.
Gary McMillan in the corner of Hutton here, of course. Gary fights later on tonight in a cracking fight against Sean Randall of SBG South Shields in what I think could possibly be the fight of the night.
I mean, they've got some stiff competition already, and we're halfway through the third fight. He's going down for that guillotine. He must really love this front headlock sequences. Green keeps going for them.
What does Hutton need to do here then to try and get into a better position?
Well, he's doing the right thing. He's going 2 hands on 1. He's not rushing anything. He's not exposing anything by, like, if he starts thrashing about and doing big frantic movements to escape, he might expose his neck. But he's just doing the right thing, going 2 on 1 and just shrugging his head out. Big low kick, and then one return from Sutton. Massive
uppercut there.
Massive uppercut. Come all the way from the floor. Beautiful low kick. They've both landed some good low kicks either way. It's interesting to see whose takes more effect first.
Both big lads as well, so you know there's lots of power behind these strikes.
Green swung that uppercut. He had a big loop to it. If one of these lands well, he's going to the body. Beautiful. I love seeing body shots in MMA.
10-set, of course, your brother. That left hook to the body, we can't not mention it. Of course, Cage Warriors lightweight champion George Hardwick. But how important do you think it is to really utilise them body punches?
So the main reason,
Speak of the devil, yes, George.
Thank you.
Are he just getting his refreshments here?
But, the thing with body shots is, if you have a cardio advantage over your opponent, it accentuates that advantage because it makes them more tired. If you have a cardio disadvantage with your opponent, it brings them on a level with you. They're so important to throw. And if you're piling on offense like Green was, and you're just going to the head, your opponent can recover from that, and then you've expended a lot of energy, and your opponent's back to not 100%, but back to normal. Whereas if you spread that damage across the body and the leg, you've expended a lot of energy because you're tired, but they're compromised, and they're like, body shot fatigue is its own thing, so they're on level with you then. So it's like, it's actually a lower risk strategy when you're piling the pressure on.
And that was a very, very fast pace opening round.
Something that's been the theme of the night.
It certainly is, and let's hope it continues through the whole card.
I will be very exhausted. Sutton looking ready to go for this round. That first round definitely went in the favour of Green, but Sutton's looking ready, and I have a feeling Sutton used less energy in that first round, and he's just landed some big hooks.
Hutton doing a good job here.
Hutton, sorry, combined his first and his second name. That's called a spoonerism for those who don't know. Green coming back to these offensive sequences, going into this body lock. He's just leaving his hips just a little bit far away.
Look at that relentless pressure we've seen in the first round, and I mean, if you can keep this up over 9 minutes, it's really difficult to deal with.
Oh, it's unbelievably difficult to deal with. Again, Green does just look to be slowing down a little bit, but he's still got big power in these shots.
Big left hook followed by a right leg kick.
He has to be careful putting his neck down. He could get caught with the very thing he seems to be favouring if he keeps putting his head down like that.
I feel like you've done such a good job in the opening round, Green, of mixing it up with shots to the body, takedowns, shots to the head, that when he's coming forward, Hutton doesn't know where he's going to be.
Yeah, he's almost getting like a sensory overload, like there's nothing he can... He's just sort of shelling up and hoping that he doesn't get hit. And it's allowing Green to get into these offensive sequences. It's allowing him to punch his way into these body locks. It's interesting to see if Green does get a takedown, what he's going to do and like how he's going to work. Like, I would like to see some grappling on the floor, but it's been a cracking fight so far without it.
Hutton's doing a really...
He tried a lateral drop and ended up underneath in mount. You know what, you can't fault him for trying, but you need a really good connection to your opponent's upper body to try a lateral drop, and you need some of their momentum, and he didn't quite have either of those and ended up in a bad spot. And fair to him, he's managed to get his guard back, because he essentially ended up in bottom mount there. That was the worst thing that could have happened.
Hutton now, of course, looking to make a big impact in this round, probably a round down after that first, so he really needs to get everything he can in this to try and even up the scorecards.
Yeah, I would say he's a round down, and with the way that the scoring is now, he needs to get some damage off here With these ground and pound shots, he needs to not get stuck in the guard. He's doing a beautiful job of standing up, standing over his opponent and raining these shots down. Beautiful hammer fists. They're not quite landing clean, they're hitting the arms a little bit more now, but every now and then one's sneaking through, and it's really jolting Green's head back.
You touch on the score. Coach Brian Gallagher wanting these strikes rain down.
Oh, the sweep from Green, but he didn't quite come up fast enough. Again, I think the fatigue's setting in. If that was the first round, he might have sprung back to his feet straight away, but now he's stuck in this front headlock, and we're going to see what Hutton's got as far as his neck attacks go.
Should Hutton look to work to the back, and as I say that, that's exactly what he goes to do. This is a good round here for Sean Hutton.
Beautiful fight so far. There's been a lot of good work here. Green getting his feet back on the hips and a nice up kick.
10 seconds left here in this second round, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds.
And a little bit of inversion at the end.
Great second round again, and I think possibly now Hutton, look, it'll be a lot closer round, should I say, than the first.
I would say a lot closer. I feel like Hutton probably did do enough to get that round. Obviously, we're not judges. Sometimes judges aren't watching, but obviously not at this show. The judges are all fantastic. They're all like former fighters and stuff, but I've had fights where the judges aren't watching. But yeah, fantastic fight so far. Like, really loving the pace of it. I'm loving the aggression from Green. I'm loving the fact that Hutton just, when he got to his good position, he didn't just get on top and rest. He got on top and then he started raining down these big right hands. Not everyone was getting through, but he was just doing it with enough persistence that like a couple were getting through, and a couple more were getting through, and a couple more were getting through, and he eventually ended nearly getting past the guard.
Of course, when you've got the power that these two lads have got, you only need one shot to get through, and it can totally change your fight, if not win you.
Yeah, definitely. I am really looking forward to this third round. Both lads looking, you know, a little worse for wear, which is fair to say. This has been a torrid pace that they've fought at. I'd say Hutton looks a little bit fresher, but Green still seems to be carrying this real power in his hands and his strikes. Like, that low kick was vicious. Hutton with a good shot though.
This, of course, the first time we've seen the third round tonight. Nice right hand there from Sean Hutton.
I think both of them connected really well in that exchange. And then this familiar rhythm of Green falling into this offensive clinch position.
Knee up the middle there from Adam Green, lovely.
Good head position. Hutton countering now, Hutton going for his own wrestling, and then coming straight up with his shots, both landing again. Beautiful body shot. You can hear Green's corner screaming for these body shots. Now he's got the neck again, he needs to look for a snap down.
And he gets it, look at that, Harry.
Beautiful snap down, and he's got to the back. This is the first time Green has got to the back in this fight. We're going to see what Hutton's defence is like now. Hutton has had all the top position in the floor grappling so far. We're seeing what Green's is like.
Is Green a bit too high up, or should he be looking to try and get his hooks in here?
Yeah, he's getting around the neck. He's managed to get at least one hook in. The second hook's creeping in, and I think Hutton, the second hook's in. Both hooks are in. He needs to start flattening him out. He needs to get those hips. Oh, that is more around the neck than I could see.
It certainly is. Big squeeze coming from Adam Green here.
I think the hand positioning isn't quite right just yet. Hutton is not giving up. He's turning his chin.
It's harder to finish from there, but you can finish with that across the jawline.
This is getting closer.
Can't quite see from our vantage point here.
I think Green doesn't quite have the grip now. Hutton has managed to do a good job of hand fighting, and there we go. The threat's not quite there now.
You mentioned earlier on in the fight that the ground game of both these guys will be phenomenal because of the gyms that they come from, and we're certainly seeing that here.
That was a crucial exchange in the fight there. Hutton managed to nearly get a 2-on-1 escape, and Green managed to just get his arm back and got back on top. And now he's in this sort of Khabib McGregor style rear naked choke position where he's got one hook in, but he doesn't need the other hook because the fence is there. Obviously he'll be very tired now. It's going to require a lot of energy to finish this choke. Does he have it in him? Does Hutton have it in him to escape this position? And he's electing to strike now, which I think is a really smart decision from here.
Green doing everything he's right here. Looks to get under the chin, but doesn't quite see him there. Hutton doing a good job fighting that top hand. Could he try and get out the back door here? No, because
now Green has the body triangle in. I think the body triangle is a much superior control for MMA than the two hooks back control. So now he's got the body triangle. The possibility of Hutton escaping is going way lower now. saying that. Hutton's back's getting near the mat.
10 seconds to go here. What's been a dominant third round from Adam Green.
I think this wins the fight for Green. This has cinched it for him. Amazing fight though. Really a good performance from both lads. They've both got a lot they can be proud of there.
First time we'll go at the judges' scorecards yet tonight, but I mean, I'm not complaining if they're all going to be like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we got some near finishing moments from both fighters there. Obviously, Green with more of them, but Hutton should hold his head high. Like, he landed some really good shots. He did a good job to stay in the fight and not get overwhelmed when the pressure started piling up. And his hand fighting was really good at the end of that third round. But big props to Green. Maybe needs to work on his lateral drop. But other than that, that was a fantastic performance. And I think he'll know that himself. Like, if your one blemish, or your one really bad moment in the fight is you trying something, you're really trying to like do a good move and working towards success, and you just sort of end up in a bad spot as a result of that. And it wasn't disastrous. He got his guard back straight away. He had good instincts. Like a lot of fighters that have done that realised they'd have messed up and almost like mentally checked out in that moment. But he didn't check out. He immediately started like fighting his hand, getting the knee through, getting that elbow knee escape working, and getting his way back to guard. So big props to him.
We'll go now to Nathan Reid. Scorecards have been collected in, and we'll get the official decision.
All right, ladies and gents, please put your hands together for both of our warriors inside the cage. After 3 hard-fought 3-minute rounds, we go to your judges' scorecards, and we have a winner by way of unanimous decision. And your winner, in the red corner, Adam Green. Also, your runner-up, Sean Hutton.
Big pop there for the Middlesbrough man, Adam Green, as he takes the win in his debut MMA bout. Up next, we've got the first of our women fights with Nadine Abusada taking on Anna Louise Burns. Burns we've seen before here at Rise and Conquer. This will be the first time we've seen Nadine. But the level of talent in women's MMA at the minute is incredible, both amateur and pro. And I believe there's 4 women's fights on this card tonight. The level's fantastic.
I've been hitting.